Welcome to Catholic News World.
Welcome to Catholic News World. Please subscribe to our channel. My name is Steph. Here are this week's breaking news headlines. Here are some key points from Pope Francis's message.
On the occasion of the First World Day of Grandparents and the Elderly, Pope Francis has granted a plenary indulgences to grandparents, the elderly and all the faithful who participate, motivated by a true spirit of penance and charity. In a note released on Tuesday, June 22, 2021, the Apostolic Penitentiary explains that, in order to increase the devotion of the faithful and for the salvation of souls, grandparents, the elderly and the faithful will be able to obtain a plenary indulgence on the First World Day of Grandparents and the Elderly to be celebrated on the 25th of July 2021. On the fourth Sunday of the month of July, the Pope grants the plenary indulgence, under the usual conditions, sacramental confession, Eucharistic communion and prayer according to the intentions of the Pope. It is granted to grandparents, the elderly and all the faithful who, motivated by a true spirit of penance and charity, will participate on July 25, 2021, in the solemn celebration that in the Vatican Papal Basilica or at the various functions that will be held throughout the world. They may also apply it as suffrage for the souls in purgatory. This plenary indulgence on the same day is granted to the faithful who devote adequate time to actually or virtually visiting their elderly brothers and sisters in need or in difficulty, such as the sick, the abandoned, the disabled and other similar cases. Father Ryan Stewase, parochial vicar at Prince of Peace Catholic Church, in Texas, ordained in 2019, has died at the age of 31 years. He passed away on June 21, 2021 at 10:57 p.m. in the company of his family after a long battle with cancer. In December 2009 he was diagnosed with a sarcoma, muscle tissue cancer, located in his right hip. He received chemotherapy and radiation treatments and in September 2010 his surgeon resected the tumor with clear margins. His life regained some normalcy as he finished his 3 remaining semesters at Texas A&M University and shortly after he entered diocesan seminary. While in seminary, he observed routine checkups and scans and remained in good health. Father Ryan was ordained to the priesthood on June 1, 2019. He moved to Tomball, Texas, in 2004, and his home parish is St. Anne. He attended Texas A&M University to study engineering before entering the seminary for the Archdiocese of Galveston, Houston. Just before his death he wrote, "I unite any suffering that I endure with the cross for those who are ill and for the future of the Church. I praise God through this and ask for healing in accordance with His will. The Lord bless you and keep you. Please pray for the repose of his soul and the consolation of his family." The chief of the Cowzes First Nation, Cadmus Delorme, in Saskatchewan, Canada, announced on Thursday, June 24, 2021, that it found 751 unmarked graves on the grounds of the former Marival Indian Residential School in Saskatchewan. The discovery comes less than a month after the remains of 215 Indigenous children were discovered at a former residential school in Kamloops, British Columbia. The Archbishop of Regina, Saskatchewan, Don Bolin, wrote a letter of apology to the First Nations. Dear Chief Cadmus, dear people of Cowzes First Nation. Words fail in the face of the news that the ground-penetrating radar search at the Cowzes Cemetery has revealed an unthinkable number of unmarked graves, up to 751 people buried there. The news is overwhelming and I can only imagine the pain and waves of emotion that you and your people are experiencing right now. The grave site work brings us face to face with the brutal legacy of the Indian residential school system, a product of a colonialist history which has left so much suffering and intergenerational trauma. The operation of the Marival Residential School at Cowzes left many people deeply wounded by various kinds of abuse. I extended an apology for the failures and sins of church leaders and staff in the past towards the people of Cowzes. I know that apologies seem a very small step as the weight of past suffering comes into greater light, but I extend that apology again, and pledge to do what we can to turn that apology into meaningful concrete acts, including assisting in accessing information that will help to provide names and information about those buried in unmarked graves, and to stand by you in whatever way you request. Pope Francis met Spiderman at the Vatican. A real-life superhero Mattia Villardita. At the Pope's general audience, on June 23, 2021, many people were surprised to see Spiderman. Mattia Villardita is a 28-year-old Italian who dresses up as the comic book hero to visit sick children in hospitals around the country. The famous Spiderman met the Pope and gave him his mask as a gift. Mattia had to spend time in hospitals as a child due to a congenital defect. So he launched a project called Superheroes in the Ward 2 years ago. He and his friends visit thousands of children in hospitals throughout Italy. Due to the pandemic, didn't travel but made 1,400 video calls to sick children. In 2020, Villardita was inducted as a Cavalier of the Order of Merit of the Italian Republic, an honor bestowed on him by the Italian president for being an everyday hero. Mattia has a job but does his superhero work as a volunteer during his free time.
Watch our programme every Friday at 7:30 p.m. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe to Catholic News World channel. God bless.
Please subscribe to Catholic News World's YouTube channel. Thanks and God bless.